Hey accountants, I've just got a question today from one of our accelerator members about how much do you give away for free? Such a great question. It's one that we've been asked before, but I feel the way that this particular person expressed it was just so spot on, and I know that many of you are wondering this same thing. And I'm just going to open the email so that you can see it. And I'm going to work through the stages of it because I'm sure that some of you are feeling the same. So this is the email. I've just highlighted a few key points and I want to work through these. But the first, and what he's mentioned here is, okay, this has puzzled me about the whole concept of content marketing. And I thought this was a really good point because if you don't get this, you run the risk of not doing content marketing in the way it's intended to be. And he's just finished reading They Ask You Answer, so I know many of you have read that. And in They Ask You Answer, Marcus Sheridan had a pool company, and he gives all this information away about pools. And what this member was sharing is, okay, that's fine for him, because quite frankly, who's going to take all that information and go build their own pool? But what about me as an accountant? What he's saying is, I feel I'm giving away free information, which puts me out of business. I render myself useless. I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to give away so much that they don't come to me for help. I want to protect a lot of this information. I want to give a little bit and then show them how badly they need me and then let them come to me. That's what a lot of accountants are thinking. That's what a lot of people and a lot of business owners are thinking when it comes to sharing and giving away content. So here's a couple points to answer that question. The first one is it's information that you give away, never implementation. So people take and consume information, they pay for implementation. So you can give away the how-to, the blueprint, the step-by-step, the every single thing they need to do. Eventually, the ones who really need help and really want help and are your target client will come to you to get help implementing it because time is the most valuable resource for your very best of clients. We often find that people who have more time than money are those who are freelancers or startups or somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience yet or hardly any clients or hardly any money. So they value their time less. So they're willing to spend 15 hours on a weekend watching videos. I'm not willing to do that. That is just not worth my time. I know what I can do with 15 hours. And you're probably the same. So the reason it's okay to give away a lot of information is that what that's doing is weeding out the people who just want the free stuff. They're only ever going to want a free stuff. And you're trying to qualify in the people who are really eventually going to need to ask for your help. Maybe very swiftly, maybe after a day or two. Might take them months. It might take them years. You're building a relationship. This is the relationship return that we use at PF to talk about what you're actually doing in marketing. Down here is all the stuff. This is the blog posts, the videos, the PDF guides, the content, the website, all the little bits and pieces. And what's behind that is two things. You have a format and you have a message. So the format is it in video? Is it a printed PDF guide? Is it an email? Is it a website page? The message is, what are you actually saying? What's the problem? What's the issue that you're solving? But what's behind that is that you're doing that in order to build trust. Like you want them to understand, oh, okay, I know your problems and your issues. I've seen them before. I know what I'm doing. And you're building trust with them so that when they're ready, they will come to you for that relationship. So what's behind that is ultimately you are building a personal relationship with all the potential prospects out there. And as I said, some of them will come to you straight away. You will share your free stuff. They'll look at it and go, wow, clearly you know what you're talking about. I don't have time for this. I need your help. But there are a lot of people, and this is what was the concern of this member that came to us, this accountant who's saying, I don't know, like I ran an event and I gave them all this information. I didn't get all these sales right after the event. That's because building relationship takes time. People don't change their minds instantly, especially for something that you're changing their mindset on. They didn't know it was possible to work with an accountant like you. They're beginning to change their mindset. That's going to take a little time. It's very reasonable to expect that when you deliver an event, you may get leads from that a year later, even 2 years later. As long as they stay in touch, as long as you give them some kind of way to download something or read something or get some connection with you and keep that connection so they keep following you and keep getting your emails and keep staying connected with you. Now, Austin Kleon talks about this concept in his book, Show Your Work. This is one of my favorite authors. He's got a couple books, Steal Like an Artist, Keep Going, which is his new one. And the chapter in this, very easy read. Look how easy that is to read. There's not loads and loads of words there. The chapter that applies to this specifically says, share your trade secrets. Whoops, there you go. Share your trade secrets. And this is what you're fearful of as an accountant. You're like, I can't share my trade secrets. Then what do they need me for? But this is the point, is no matter how many of your secrets you share, they will never get the 20 years or 30 years or whatever level of experience that you have, the qualifications, the studies, the meetings and the phone calls and the emails and the everything piling up to cause you to be an expert or an authority in a certain area. So he tells this story. I'll let you buy the book. I mean, it's not expensive, easy read. You can read it in an hour or two probably if you really put your mind to it and turn off your phone. And he talks about the world of barbecue, and he tells the story of these people that do great barbecue, and they recorded all these videos telling people how to make their own barbecue. Now, you would be tempted to think, oh, well, why would anyone go to that restaurant anymore? They can just do it yourself. But of course, these people have 20, 40, whatever years of experience that they have. They even said, Aaron, who's one of the owners, told me that he trains all his employees in the same way, but when he cuts into a brisket, he can tell you exactly who did the smoking. So the experience that people have comes out in the things that they do. So yes, you can give all your trade secrets away. Here's how to set up payroll step by step in QuickBooks or Xero or whatever it be. Here's how to do this. Here's how to do this. Here's how to do this. You can walk them through it step by step. What they will pay you for is to do it for and with them. Now, a really important point on this is that as you're sharing information, your job is to subtly get in there the consequences, the dangers, the pitfalls that they may face based on your experience. So James Ashford from Go Proposal calls this consequence management. So this is an example of what they've built at MAP, which is the accountancy firm that came up with Go Proposal. And for every one of their systems, payroll, personal taxes, VAT return, they say this is what we're going to do. And here's what happens if you don't. Now, this is their onboarding document. So this is for people who've already signed up to be a client. So there's a little different information because these people have already said, listen, that's fine. You know, you guys do it. I'm happy to pay you for it. What I'm trying to get across to you as accountants is when you're creating free stuff, you are sharing as much, just give it all away. All the information, not the implementation, not your time for your services, not you working with their particular situation. So you are giving away information that relates to everybody. And then saying, if you want help as how that applies to your situation specifically, come and talk to us and we charge you for that. But at every stage, there's an opportunity. And you can do this in whatever way fits with your brand. But at every stage, you have an opportunity to say, now, bear in mind, if you don't do this at this point, or we have seen some businesses who have done this and this is what happened. And that's your opportunity, not to scare them, you know, not to have them be like, oh, no, I can't possibly do that. You want to be positive and encouraging because some people are just going to want to do the whole thing themselves. And here's the kicker with those people. Those people, the ones who want to do everything themselves, they have more time than money, they don't value their time very highly, so they have lots of it, they're not going to hire you anyway. Or they are going to hire you. They're going to become the most difficult client. They're going to have tons of questions. They're going to challenge every fee. They're going to get frustrated with you. They're going to challenge your authority. They're going to cause problems, and you're going to have a difficult time with them. That's the kind of clients we're trying to get rid of. And that's what giving away free information does. It weeds out the prospects, so the very best ones, the ones who are becoming educated by what you share, when they are ready, they come to you. As I said, some people will be ready after a day, some people after a month, some people after 3 years. I've been running PF for, at the time of this video, 7 years. I've got people on my list who have been absorbing our free stuff for 7 years. And they've never once come and said, Karen, can you build us a website? Can your team, put this together for me? They're just doing stuff themselves, some of them. Or maybe they're just consuming it. I'm not sure. But we do everything possible at PF, and we want to show you by example that we give away as much as we possibly can, so that we can build a relationship, so that when and if you get to the point where your time is more valuable to you, to have somebody else take the bulk of it away. As with marketing, you are going to have to be involved a little bit, but better to be involved for an hour or two and then have somebody else do 15 hours of work when you get to that stage. And the same thing's true for you as an accountancy firm. When somebody is wanting to, create an Excel spreadsheet and do everything themselves and work on it on the weekends, fine. That's what they want to do. Give them everything they need to do it. And when they've built their business, or when their time becomes more valuable, or when they've broken something and they need help, they come to you because you're the one who they have a relationship with, presumably, has been generous to them. There are so many companies out there who hold things back. Here's a little bit. I'll give you these secrets. You give me your email address, all this. One of the things we're working on in PF is slowly getting rid of asking for email addresses for much of our stuff. Maybe not all of it, but much of it. Because at the end of the day, if we're everywhere, people will find us, whether they enter their email or not. And people get tired. Your prospects get tired of things being held back and things being made to be secrets. And you can just share your information and say, listen, I know some of this seems like secrets and it seems really difficult. And I'll be honest, some of it is quite difficult. I've been working as an accountant for 20 years or 30 years, and here's some of the problems that I've seen. Tell stories. Tell success stories. Tell failure stories. And as they watch those, and as they engage with those, and as they take your free stuff, they will eventually get to the point where they go, do you know what? I really need some help with this. And who's the person that's going to come up in their mind but the person who has been generous and has given them as much information as they needed and has been ready and willing to help them. So my suggestion is publish everything. Don't hold back on any information, and trust that they will gather and they will gather and they will read and they will consume. And that as you do that, and as you point out the dangers and the pitfalls and the challenges that may befall them as they go through it, as you point out the case studies and the stories and the victories and the failures, as you point them to actions, nothing wrong with saying, hey, if you really enjoyed this PDF guide, we've got a course that's only 99 pounds or dollars or whatever your currency is. You can move them through that progression model at whatever speed is comfortable for your buyer. But it's their choice. They're the ones who decide. And we've talked about the progression model. You can go watch that in another video about how you move people through from free stuff to small paid stuff, then to the ongoing monthly stuff or the big projects. And that's an area that a lot of accountants are missing, is the little small paid stuff category. So here's the progression model. And as I said, this section here, this small paid things, that's the bit that most people are missing. Because if all you do is build awareness and just write blogs and share things and, just post comments, and that's only going to take you so far. You do have to give them some free, valuable things. And this is what our accelerator member was asking us about. How much free stuff do I give away? The small paid thing category combines a little bit of information with a little bit of implementation. It's small. It's a 1-hour session with you. It's a workshop that they come to and they buy and they pay for a half a day or something. It's an event. It's maybe it's a group session. There's lots of options for things that are a couple £100 or dollars. Doesn't have to be mega, because ultimately you want people at the longer term and big project level, but you're building relationship. It takes people time. And if you're expecting them to go from 0 to hundreds or thousands within a day, it helps if you give them a few things in the middle that they can ease in and just see. Again, we try and show this by example at PF. We have some workshops where we can do a branding workshop to get a decision on your brand. And we do a couple sessions exclusively with you just on Zoom. And our head of branding is there, and we walk you through that. And it's a paid thing, but it's not paid at the level of a big branding project where you're spending tens of thousands to get a whole new brand identity and all these marketing materials and all that. You could do a website workshop. Again, it's not a custom-built website from start to finish with your whole buyer journey, but it'll give you direction for what you need to do with your website. That's the sort of thing we're talking about. Even our accelerator course, our 12-week accelerator course, which is for accountants who want to learn how all this works. How does this content marketing thing work? It's not expensive to go through that, but there is an investment of time that people put in, and they learn this, and some of them do end up doing some work with us, and some of them end up doing stuff themselves. We've got all kinds of people in our accelerator course who are writing their own blogs and designing their own images and creating their own websites. Great! When and if they get to the point that they need help, then we're the ones that they come to because we've built relationship. And that's what we're encouraging you to do in all of this sharing, all of this giving away information and giving away your trade secrets and giving them the step-by-step, and then all of the consequence management and the issues and the problems that they may face and the case studies and the stories. You are building a relationship, a potential relationship or a small existing relationship, so that when they are ready, you are the one they think of. You are the one they're far more likely to go with. It's like you're creating a referral to yourself from yourself. That's what your free stuff is doing. So absolutely share it, share away, and let me know what you put together and how you get on. Have a great day. Bye.